Good morning, my awesome students. How are you? Today we will complete Unit 6 for Mega Goal 4. What would you do? Today we will use present hypothetical conditional versus past hypothetical conditional. We also used implied conditionals and as if, as though for unreal situations. Let's start with present hypothetical conditional. We use present hypothetical conditionals to talk about imaginary situations. The simple past tense is used in the if clause. Would, could, or might is used in the result clause. For example, if you asked me my opinion, I would tell you the truth. Here we use the simple past and then we will use would plus base form for the result clause. Another example, if we knew where she lived, we could send her flowers. We use past hypothetical conditionals to talk about things that didn't happen in the past. They are often used to express regret or criticism. The past perfect is used in the if clause. Would have, could have, or might have is used in the result clause. For example, if I had tutored him, he might have passed the test. But I didn't tutor him, so he didn't pass the test. If Audra had been honest, she wouldn't have gotten into trouble. So we use past perfect had plus past participle, then we use would have plus past participle. It means that, but Audra didn't tell the truth, so she didn't get into trouble. What about implied conditionals? Sometimes the if clause is implied rather than stated directly. For example, we would have helped you if you had asked us. Okay, so we use would have plus past participle and it's implied. I would have called the police if I had been there. What would I do without you if you weren't here? Another point is as if or as though. For unreal situation, we can use as if or as though plus past or past perfect verb to suggest that something is unreal or untrue. For example, he talks as if he were an expert in the field. Here we use past simple. They act as though they hadn't cheated on the test. Here we used past perfect, had plus past participle. Keep in mind that note please, either was or were can be used in the subject I, he, she, or it. However, were is considered more formal and generally used in writing. Now we will answer exercise number A. Rewrite each sentence as a conditional. Number 1. Ibrahim doesn't take good care of himself. That is why he gets sick so often. If Ibrahim took good care of himself, he wouldn't get sick. Number 2. He had an accident because he wasn't driving carefully enough. If he had driven more carefully, he wouldn't have had an accident. We used here past perfect had plus past participle. Then we use would have plus past participle. Number 3, I took the course because I didn't know how hard it would be. If I had known how hard this course would be, I wouldn't have taken it. taking it. Number 4, he isn't my son, so I can't tell him what to do. If he were my son, I could tell him what to do. Here we use simple past, so we use could plus space for. Number 5, I'd like to help the poor, but I have no extra money. If I had extra money, I could help the poor. Number 6, you don't pay attention in class, so you don't understand the lessons. If you paid attention in class, you would or you might understand the lessons. Number 7, Aisha didn't tell her parents about the problem, so they couldn't help her. If Aisha had told her parents about the problem, they could have helped her. So we use had plus past participle and could have plus past participle. The last one, we didn't have time, so we didn't visit him in the hospital. If we had had time, we could or we would have visited him in the hospital. Exercise number P. Write what would you do or would have done in each situation. Use an implied conditional. Number 1. When Aisha got home from the bookstore, she realized that she hadn't been changed for one of the books she bought. She went back to the bookstore to pay for it. What would you have done? I would have called them and told them about the mistake. While pulling out of the supermarket parking lot, Hamid hits another car. There is a small dent on the other car. Hamid can't decide what he should do. What would you do? I would wait for the other driver to come out. Number 3, Fatima bought a new dress. She tries it on and asks what Maha thinks of it. Maha doesn't like it, but says she does. What would you have done? I would have told Fatima that I liked the dress too. Number 4, Mona's teenage daughter has seemed unhappy lately, but won't talk to Mona. Mona is worried her daughter accidentally leaves her journal on the couch. Mona reads it. What would you have done? I wouldn't have read I wouldn't have read her journal. Number 5. Sarah brings her grandmother a nice dessert. Her grandmother tells her how delicious it is and how impressed she is that Sarah made it. Sarah bought the dessert from a store. She decides not to tell her grandmother. What would you do? I would tell her that I bought the dessert. Exercise number C. Use the keywords to write a new sentence with as, though, or as if. Number 1. I'm not dreaming. Feel as though P. I feel as though I were dreaming. As though is followed by simple past. The simple past of P is were. We are not rich. Spending money as though. We are spending money as though we were rich. Number 3. Asma doesn't like Sophia. Acts as though. Asma acts as though she liked Sophia. Number 4. You didn't see something scary. Look as if. You look as if you had seen something scary. Number 5. Adil is not an old man, walks as though. Adil walks as though he were an old man. Do you understand, my awesome students? Okay.